Hello everyone, welcome to Grow Channel. Today we have another very special guest today. I'm Almita Mora with Alianza Latina. Now, Almita, can you tell us a little bit more of who you are? By the way, welcome to Growth.
Thank you for Jose for having me. Well, Almita Mora, it's a mom, it's a wife, and it's a businesswoman, and it's an immigrant from Mexico,
Wow, what part of Mexico?
Jalisco,
Nice, nice.
beautiful Jalisco.
How long you been in the country?
I've been here for 26 years.
Oh wow.
Ever since I got married, I've been here.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, yes.
Got
yes,
it.
it
So
is.
what's your background, Almita?
Okay. Well, in Mexico, I studied business, and then I also worked as a travel agent. That's how I met my husband.
Ah, okay.
And then when I came here, when we get to the U.S., well, we work in whatever is there. So I clean houses, clean apartments, cook at a food truck, you name it. And then I became a paralegal, and I worked for 15 years in the legal field with attorneys, helping the community. And then that's how I realized that the community needed services. That's how I opened Alianza Latina.
So that's what made you open up Alianza Latina.
Yes, because seeing people, looking for attorneys, and sometimes they needed more from the attorney. However, for every single thing that you need a specific attorney. You need a specific person to help you. And sometimes I saw my community looking for answers, like just a simple letter, I don't know, from the IRS, from the government, from the Medi-Cal for their kids. And sometimes they don't understand it, they don't understand the system. And sometimes they will come to me asking me to read those letters for them.
Right.
However, that was not my job. And sometimes I got, called out like, hey, we're not paying you to do that. Why are you doing it? However, I noticed that, I got this thing that people like me. So I say, you know what, I'm going to open an office, and we're going to help people with whatever they need. So
Wow.
that's how,
That's
I
pretty
opened.
awesome.
Yeah, that's how I opened Alianza Latina.
So now I know you also do funeral services, right?
Yes.
What made you? Why did you decide to get into the insurance industry and the funeral services side of it as well?
Well, when I opened the office, I saw, that the insurance industry, really people who come from my country or Latin America were really not familiar. So I wanted to teach people, why is it so important? And I got licensed, and I started noticing more and more. However, since I was a kid, the funeral homes, I felt always attracted to like go to the funeral homes because my mom passed when I was 12. So
Sorry to hear that, by the way.
Oh, thank you. However, it was always like something that interested me. And I became familiar and more familiar and more familiar, people who work the industry. And with the pandemic, I noticed, how important it was to have like a funeral service. 10 years ago, my father-in-law passed away also here in the States, and I had no idea how things worked here. When he was alive, he used to tell us once he started getting sicker and sicker, he told us, oh, don't worry, I have everything ready. I have everything prepared. I have, the plot at the cemetery. So we were like, okay, and in a way, like, we didn't felt like worried about it.
You guys had peace of mind?
Yeah, we had a peace of mind. But when he passed, or when he was about to pass, I found out that he only had a plot at the cemetery. He didn't have a funeral home. He didn't have like a service. He didn't have all these things. And then when I started looking around, asking, checking the paperwork, I figured that you need to have a funeral home, and the funeral home will not provide service if everything is not paid. And I was like, what? Because in Mexico or in other countries, you can have the funeral, you can have the service, and then you can make payments after, right? Or like you sign something and you promise that you're gonna pay. However, here, by law, the funeral homes cannot do that.
Yeah, you're right. everything has to be paid 24 to 48 hours before any services are done. If not, they will push back until you make the full payment.
Yeah. So, and that happened 10 years ago, and I started thinking, oh my God, I didn't know all this. And like I said, when I started with the insurance industry, and then I found that there's this product that it's called Pre-Need that helps you pay a funeral plan in advance. And I was like, oh my God, how come I didn't know about this, right? And then it's better to make payments $80, $90, $100 a month than when someone passes, come up with 12,000, 15,000, 20,000. So, I say, you know what, this is a really good product that we can promote with our people, because I've seen experiences like people from my hometown that sometimes they keep a body like for 2 months, 3 months, because they cannot come up with the money.
Right.
And sometimes it's not only the money. Sometimes it's also that there are I had this case where there were 6 brothers and sisters, and some wanted to cremate the mom, and some wanted to bury her, and some wanted to send her back to Mexico.
Right.
So they couldn't agree. So it took 3 months after she passed to finally give her a service. So sometimes it's not just only the money, but it's also having something planned with what the person believes and wants.
Right.
Because once you have it ready and you say, hey, I want to be dressed with, I don't know, I'm gonna sound funny, but it could be like, I want to be dressed with my wedding dress, or I want to have horses, or I want to have doves or whatever, but that's what you want.
Right.
And if you plan it in advance, then your family is going to be, oh, okay, so this is what my mom wanted. So like for me, I tell my kids, I'm always cold, so I want socks. Please put me socks.
Put some socks on.
Yeah. So, and we laugh about it because it's a subject that sometimes it's hard to talk about it. But when you laugh and you think about it, you're like, okay, it makes sense to have a plan.
Right, it does.
Right.
And it's also important for people to do a living trust.
Exactly.
A living trust. For example, myself, you want socks? I want to be in my casket on my suit, all black.
Okay.
Black shirt, black everything, right?
But
see, you don't get to do those choices if you don't have something in place. If you don't have a pre-need plan, you have a living trust, even a will, which the will is, we were actually with somebody yesterday who works at the cemetery, and I used to work at the cemetery myself as well, so I know that I got to see a lot of families who they would say, no, my mom wanted it this way, or she wanted it this other way, or she wanted it to be cremated, she wanted to get a traditional funeral. Well, that's why, going back to the same thing, right? It's important for you to leave everything
in writing,
pre-planned before anything were to happen to you. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to do an interview on you, because I get to see that you do help a lot of people in the community when it comes to the funeral services. Now, I know you also do life insurance, right? And I'm huge on life insurance. I truly believe, for me, the life insurance industry, it changed my life completely. Now, question for you, Amita. Do you have life insurance yourself?
I do. I have 2 beautiful kids, a daughter and a son. So I have 2 life insurance policies. One's for her, one's for him. That's, a little bit of money there.
Right.
I hope they don't push me off the cliff. And I also have a funeral plan, because the way I see it is, the life insurance, it's really good when you get it while you still, healthy.
Right.
Because it's cheaper and it's better, and then you can pick like really good plans like the ones that you offer, So I have 2 policies, and I have my funeral plan. Right. So they don't have to take away from the policy to pay for my services. So I actually have 3. And I'm planning on having another, policy, because as you get into the industry and then you see the benefits, then you say, you know what, I'm gonna get this other one just in case for this or that. Especially like me, I have a business, and I'm the one who runs it. And if I am gone, and then my family, they don't know everything about the business, and I don't want them to lose it. So while they're, get on their feet, maybe I'll have another policy.
Right. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's good. A lot of people don't know that you could actually have multiple life insurance policies. So that's another topic that people don't know. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to get in just to close off with this interview, mm-hmm. right? Because I know you're a busy person and I'm a busy person myself as well. What's your advice for those people who don't have anything ahead of time planned out when it comes to a life insurance, a funeral service, maybe a plot, living trust, whatever it is? What's your advice for those who don't have anything planned out?
Well, a friend of mine used to say, you need to have something, even if it's in a napkin. Just write it down. Mm-hmm. Write it down to have something, because you have no idea the things that happen when the family don't know what to do. So start by, making a little plan, notarize it, and then, consult with Jose. He'll give you like really good advice. Like, you can start with a simple policy, $30 a month, $40 a month. Nowadays, you go out, you get a couple of burgers, couple of sodas, there's your $25, $30. So why not, invest in protecting the most valuable thing in your life, that it's your family.
Right. Anita, is there anything else you want to add to the people?
Well, just get to the habit to plan, because when we come from Mexico and Latin America, we're like, ahí se va, ya veremos, and it's not like that. If we want to change the cycle of our families, mm-hmm. because one thing I tell my kids, we cross the border, like me and my husband, to make a better life. So right. Make it worth, mm-hmm. make it change, be different. So having a life insurance, it's loving your family and it's being different.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anita, well, thank you so much for coming to our channel. God bless you, and God bless everyone watching as well.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.